Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Welcome to the Michael Unbroken podcast. I'm Michael Anthony, author, speaker, coach, mentor, and advocate for adult survivors of childhood trauma. And in this podcast, I'm going to be bringing you the best of what I understand about healing trauma, overcoming our past, and ultimately becoming the hero of our own story. This podcast is not a replacement for mental health, but instead, think of it as a companion to help guide you into what is next in your life. My friend, thank you so much for being here with me. Do me a favor before we get started. Hit subscribe, like, comment, leave a review, tell a friend about it. And until next time, my friend, be unbroken. Let's get into the show. Have you read my book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma? If you haven't, then now is the time because I am giving away free copies of my book, Think Unbroken, for the rest of the year. All you have to do is go to traumahealingbook.com to get your free copy. The reality is that as I think about the world and where we are right now with things, it is more important than ever, if we are going to step onto the path of healing generational trauma together, that we do it through education. And when I wrote my book, I never expected it to become an international bestseller. I certainly didn't expect it to sell thousands and thousands of copies as it has. And the one thing that I know to be true about this experience is that the more people that read it, the more impact we can have on the world. And so I invite you to read it for free at traumahealingbook.com. I only ask that you cover the shipping and handling. And the reason is because, I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a millionaire, and I would go into debt if I gave everyone in the world a free copy of my book. So I'll cover the book. You cover the shipping and handling. You grab your copy at traumahealingbook.com. And I'm so excited to have you on this journey and this mission to think unbroken. Hey, what's up, my friends? I'm Michael Anthony, author, speaker, coach, and advocate for adult survivors of childhood trauma, and you're listening or watching to the Michael Unbroken podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about how you move through the fear of becoming your true self. I got a question the other day, and it really hit me hard because I recognized that so much of this healing journey is really about getting to this place in which you can be okay with who it is that you are. How do you get to that place, though? That's the question, right? How do you move into being okay with you? And there's so many different ways that you can step into this and so many different avenues for discovering your true self. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about, can you put your feet on the ground and be okay with that person? Can you look in the mirror and be okay and be good and be happy and be satisfied with that reflection? And I think that you can. Actually, I know that you can. And I believe that we all have the power and the ability and the capability to love ourselves. And that question always comes up, like, how do you love yourself? Like, how do you work through traumatic experiences to get to the place where you're sovereign within your own self? And I don't know an easier way to do it than by doing it. And you've probably heard me say this before, but the truth is, to get to the place in which you love yourself and you're good despite the fear is by moving through the fear. If you're going through it, keep going. Because on the other side of it, one day you're going to wake up and you'll understand who you truly are. Now, that takes time. And you've heard me say it a million times. Patience is my favorite word because it takes patience to get there. But in the meantime, it's about action. It's about trusting yourself. It's about following your intuition and your gut. And it's about showing up for yourself every single day, and especially on the hard days, because guess what? There's going to be hard days. There's going to be good days and indifferent days, but ultimately at the end of it all, the question is, how do you move into being okay with who you are despite the fear to discover and understand your true self? And I think the easiest thing to think about is, have you defined who it is that you are? Like, have you actually taken a piece of paper and written down who it is, your wants, needs, interests, values, your personal motto and mission statement, your boundaries, your successes, the way that you move towards goals, your victories, the things that you've done that you don't want to do ever again, the things that you want to do because they make your life better. It's easy to get lost in this process if you don't have a roadmap, if you don't have a direction, if you haven't identified and gotten super clear about who it is that you are. Because without knowing that first, then there's nowhere to go. And you've heard me say this one a million times. You have to identify who you are. You have to identify your wants, needs, interests, and values. One of the things that I do with my coaching clients, when we're deep into one-on-one coaching, we identify these things because they are an absolute must, because they are a framework ultimately for who it is that you are. You have to think about this. I want you to really think about this for a moment. Have you ever defined who you are? Have you ever taken a piece of paper and written down, I am? Right here over my desk, if you're watching, you'll see this. And if you're not, then you can watch on YouTube and you'll see this. But here's a piece of paper, if you can see this, and it has 10 I am statements on it. And these I am statements are the part of the definitive guide that I use to move forward in my life. Give you an example, one that comes up right here. I am a person that asks for help when they need it. How do I know if I'm being my true self if I've never said that I'm going to give myself permission to ask for help? You have to be able to identify and understand exactly who you are to a T. Now, the I am statements are powerful because they're binary. They're very much yes or no. You either are or you are not. Now, in life, you understand this, we all understand that there are variables. There are so many things that we cannot account for that we don't understand until we get to them. Now, the way that you navigate them when you get to that moment in which you're recognizing this is new is, let me rephrase that. When you're moving through this and you get to this place in your life, when you recognize that you're facing a new situation, you have to understand that the way that you operate within that situation should be based on the person that you are, not the person that you want to be, not the person that you were, but the person that you are. And by having these declarations in your life as the measurement for who you are, now look, you're always moving forward. You're always going to ebb and flow and change and grow. Like, that's the nature of it. But every day, are you showing up authentically as the person that you are? Because you see, fear, the fear of true self, that comes in a couple fold, right? One side is what I just talked about. You have not identified who it is that you are. So of course you're fearful to be able to step into that place, because if you had identified it, then you would just move forward, right? Now, there's a very big discrepancy between being fearful and moving forward. And so as you're moving forward, it's always about the measurement of discovery. Like, am I learning? Am I growing? Am I changing? Am I healing? Does this feel authentic? Does this feel real? Is this identified? Because look, realistically, there's been values that I've had in my life. When I go back and I look at them, I go, actually, you know what? That one didn't suit me as well as these. So there's a little bit of experimentation also. Hey, what's up, my friend? Before we get into today's episode, just want to take a moment of your time and tell you about the 30-day Think Unbroken small group trauma healing challenge. What I've done is taken the best of everything that I've learned over the last few years of being a trauma-informed coach, through my own certification processes, through my own trauma healing journey, and more, and compiled it into the most in-depth 30-day challenge that's ever existed in healing trauma. And I want to invite you to it. If you go to healtraumacoach.com, there's more information, but as a quick overview, you're going to step into not only learning the baseline of healing through the 6 principles of healing trauma, but the 6 pillars of healing trauma, through reframing, through creating self-love, through understanding personal boundaries, through creating wants, needs, and interests, through understanding your ACE score and how that impacts you, including the science of trauma, and more. And I created this challenge because I want us to come together as a group and as a community. And one of the things really special about this 30-day small group coaching challenge is not only will you go live with me weekly as we go into the depths of healing trauma, but also you're going to be assigned to anonymous teams where you can remain anonymous and have support and have community. Think of it like a digital support group, but you don't have to show your face or say your name. One of the reasons that I did that is because in my own journey, the most powerful moments that I had were within these groups, and I want to give that to you as well. So I invite you to check out healtraumacoach.com. The first session starts on April 1st. I'm only allowing a handful of people into this first session. So if you're curious and you want to know more, check out healtraumacoach.com, and I will see you in the challenge. Now, the other side of it is the in general fear of judgment from other people. We're terrified to show up as who we are. The nose ring, the tattoos, the purple hair, maybe you want to wear a suit every day, right? Maybe you're the high heels person. Maybe you want to wear a briefcase and a backpack, or, drive a certain car, or be in a certain club, or go do certain things, but you're scared of what other people will say. Look, it's reasonable. It's logical. When we come from traumatic backgrounds, often the ramifications of showing up as our true self mean something painful, something uncomfortable, something that hurts, something that's unkind, something that makes us want to not do whatever it was that we felt was in alignment with who we are again. It's negative reinforcement. And so now, as an adult or teenager, or even if you're a kid listening to this right now, like, the truth is that the way that you move through fear is by moving through fear. You're going to have to do the things that you want to do, that you feel are true with you. You're going to have to listen to your body. Listen to your heart, right? The brain is a great tool for helping you not be able to make decisions. What do I mean by that? It is a survival mechanism. Our brain is serving a single purpose, keep us alive. And our brain knows in the past when we tried something, and then something bad happens, to not do that again. Now that something bad, right, that something we tried could be showing up as the person that we felt was authentically us. That something bad is some kind of ramification, humiliation, punishment, pain, right? Whatever that is. Now the brain goes, oh, learned behavior. If I put a fork in an electrical socket, I'm going to get electrocuted. So now, right, you put this equation together. The brain goes, when I show up as my authentic self, something bad happens. Thus, for survival, because I don't want to get embarrassed and kicked out of the tribe, when this moment comes, I will not show up for myself. Fear. Right? It's very logical when you break it down to this very mathematical equation. It becomes very logical because now you have a point of measurement where you can look at these experiences and say, okay, that makes sense how I got to this place where I'm scared or fearful to show up as myself. Now, what do you do about it? Well, first and foremost, you have to measure. Do you understand who it is that you are? And if you don't, step one, the baseline of all of this is to just sit inside of your body. Do things that feel in alignment with who it is that you want to be, who it is that you are, who it is that you feel is you. You have to do those things. And even in fear, you have to do them because you're not going to know whether or not you're right until you have data to prove the hypothesis that the thing that you're doing is either in alignment with who you are or not. And so you do the thing. And then even though you're fearful, you go do it anyway. This is where people get stuck. This is why people lie in bed instead of going to the dance class. This is why people don't go to the jiu-jitsu class. This is why people never start the business. This is why people don't ask the other person out on a date. This is why people don't quit their job or leave the shitty partner or travel the world or whatever it is, because they're so scared. But if you think about it, if you pause and you listen to your body, your soul, your gut, your heart, not your brain, because sometimes your brain's going to get in your way. But if you listen to what is intuitive in you in that moment when you're thinking about what it is that you want to do, all of your answers are going to be right there. And then next, you just simply move through it. You go and you do that thing again and again and again and again and again until it becomes not only second nature, but it feels natural. Right? Change happens when we make change happen. And change happens when we become who we are. And thus, if you want to change, you must take action. You want to not be fearful of your true self, then you're going to have to do some uncomfortable shit to get there. There's no other way around it. There's no simplified way where you're ever going to be you without doing the things that you have to do to be you. And finally and quickly, probably the easiest of these three is the measurement of, are you concerned with what other people think about you? If you are, then you have to ask yourself why. Other people should not dictate your life. Other people should not dictate your happiness or your future, your self-love, the way you feel about yourself when you're by yourself. Other people do not get a say in that. You've got to create sovereignty in your own life. If the measurement of fear that you have within yourself is that I am concerned that other people are going to judge me, then what you have to understand is that you're not moving authentically as you because you're hoping someone will give you permission. I hope that's helpful, my friend. Do me a favor, please. Like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend. And until next time, my friend, be unbroken. I'll see ya. Thank you so much for hanging out today with the Michael Unbroken podcast. Before we head off, do me a favor, please. Hit that like or subscribe button, leave a comment or review, and tell a friend. It would mean the world to me. And just so you know, I read every single review. I listen to your questions. And if you need to, you can reach out to me directly anywhere on social media at Michael Unbroken, or email me directly to michael@thinkunbroken.com. Remember, my friend, though trauma may be our foundation, it is not our future. Until next time, be unbroken. I'll see ya. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.